Hello everyone, I'm Rishab, and today we're going to be going over the basics of heredity. So what is heredity? Heredity is the passing of physical and mental characteristics from one generation to another. So these are characteristics that parents pass down to their offsprings, and those offsprings pass down to the next generation. So let's just quickly go over some vocabulary which is needed to learn heredity. First of all, a gene is a unit in heredity that represents characteristics inherited from your parents. An allele are the different forms of genes, and traits are the characteristics an organism can pass to its offspring. So these traits include eye color, hair texture, hair color, height, and many other characteristics that organisms pass to their offsprings. So in heredity, we use Punnett squares to find the probability of two parents when they cross and their offsprings and what their offsprings will be. So phenotypes are observable characteristics, and genotypes are the organism's complete set of heritable genes. So genotypes are basically like a gene, and phenotypes are the observable characteristics that corresponds to that gene. So let's just say the phenotype of the gene is like blue eyes. So in blue eyes will be the phenotype, and then that one particular gene, which corresponds to blue eyes, will be the genotype. So Punnett squares are used to predict the percentage of phenotypes in the offspring from a cross of two parent genotypes. So over here we have two parent genotypes, an uppercase A and lowercase a, and then the other parent is also uppercase A, lowercase a. So now we just draw a box over here, and we cross these two parents. And how we do this Punnett square cross is we bring the one letter from one parent and bring it down, and we bring another letter from the other parent and bring it across to the same box. And then we have uppercase A and uppercase A for the this is the offspring. Now we do the same thing but with another letter from the other parent. So the lowercase a would go down from the first parent, and the second parent will still use the same letter, the uppercase a, and now you have uppercase a, lowercase a. Now you just keep doing that for all the other offsprings, and now you have 4 different offsprings which you can have. Now as you can see, this is uppercase a, and there's 2 uppercase a, lowercase a's, and there's 1 lowercase a. So it's a 1/4 chance of the mother and father to have an offspring of uppercase a. There's a 1/2 chance that the mother and father have an offspring of uppercase a, lowercase a, because it's 2 out of 4. And then there's another 1/4 chance that the mother and father will have an offspring of lowercase a. So now as you can see here in this comment, it says yellow boxes are all dominant phenotype. So these 3 yellow boxes. So what dominant phenotypes mean is that when we have these 2 letters, we have one letter is uppercase, right? So if one genotype has an uppercase letter, then it will always be dominant. But if it has a lowercase letter, then even if it has one uppercase letter, the uppercase letter is always dominant to the lowercase letter, so it would never it would always be dominant. And now we have recessive. Recessive is basically the opposite, and it's lowercase letters, but it could only work if there's 2 lowercase letters. So if we have 2 lowercase a's, then this would be recessive. But if we have an uppercase a, lowercase a, then this would be dominant, and uppercase a will also be dominant. So if it always has an uppercase a, it will always be dominant. So over here it says that there's a chance of a dominant phenotype is 3 out of 4, because there is 1/4 chance, which is 3/4, because 3 out of the 4 boxes. And similarly, there's a 1/4 chance that it's going to be a recessive phenotype. So now let's go over homozygous and heterozygous. So homozygous is a condition when individuals inherit the same alleles for a particular gene from both parents. So this would be capital A, and lowercase a, because they both are received from this parent. Well, they both are receiving from the other parents, but they get the exact same letter, the uppercase a, and lowercase a. Now heterozygous is a condition when individuals inherit different alleles from for a particular gene from both parents. So this would be capital A, lowercase a, and uppercase A, lowercase a. That would be heterozygous. That's the only heterozygous condition. Now we can also use heredity to determine the gender of a child. So let's first go over some basic facts that we need to know. So chromosomes are thread-like structures of nucleic acid that carry genetic information of the living cell or organism. So all humans have 22 pairs of chromosomes, along with the 23rd pair of sex chromosomes. So the sex chromosomes are labeled with XX or XY, and all males have XY and all females have XX, unless you have a chromosomal disorder. So XX stands for female, and XY stands for male. So now let's talk about determining the gender of a child. So the mother will always have XX, and the father will always have XY. So when having an offspring, the male duplicates one of their chromosomes for the child, and the female duplicates an X chromosome for the child. Because the female only has 2 X chromosomes, so the female will always be giving an X chromosome. And since the father has XY, then the father has a 50% chance of giving an X chromosome to the child, and he also has a 50% chance of giving a Y chromosome to the child. So you can see in this picture in the right, you have the mother and then the father. So if the father gives an X chromosome, and the mother would always be giving an X chromosome, then the child offspring will be female because it has XX, which is for females. But if the father gives the Y chromosome, and the mother always gives the X chromosome, then the offspring will be male because it has an XY chromosome, because the father gave the Y. So it all depends on what the father gives, and that is completely random, and there's a 50% chance. So that's why there's always a 50% chance your child will be a female or a male. So now lastly, let's go over the heredity birth defects. So there are many birth defects that are passed down by parents to the offspring. So this is a small list of them. There are much more, but there's Down syndrome, hemophilia, muscular dystrophy, sickle cell anemia, cleft palate, cystic fibrosis, and spina bifida. And there are also chromosomal disorders. And as we talked about in the last slide, the normal male and normal female have 22 pairs of chromosomes with the 23rd pair of sex chromosomes, which depends on if the offspring or the person is a male or a female. So male will have XY, female will have XX. So since this has XY over here in this image, this will be a male. And as you can see, they have 2 chromosomes in each pair of these 23 pairs. Now if we have a chromosomal disorder, such as Edwards syndrome, then Edwards syndrome has a disorder and chromosome number 18 over here, where it has a 3rd chromosome. Instead of 2 chromosomes, it has 3 chromosomes in a pair chromosome 18. And now for Punnett syndrome, it's kind of the same thing, but it's in chromosome 13 over here. As you can see, it has a 3rd chromosome instead of 2. And in Klinefelter's syndrome, it has a 3rd X chromosome in the sex chromosomes over here. So these are all chromosomal disorders for males. There are also chromosomal disorders for females. And Edwards syndrome and Punnett syndrome are also chromosomal disorders for females too, as well as males. But Klinefelter is only for males. And that's about it for heredity. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to YouShare Science, and we'll be coming up with more videos for you to learn and more science. Thank you.